Huh.
What is going on, YouTube world? Steve, Vinny, Robert, from the den of knowledge.
The Bob Lewis
IRP,
Emporium.
yeah, IRP number what 164, somewhere in there. Yes. Um, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Chanukah, um, Kwanzaa, all those things. Like now we're in the rear view and get on to the 2024 content creating machine that is the IRP. Uh, Everyone in this quadrangular that you see on your screen before you has made several card videos over the last month, and by several, maybe like 3 combined. It just that's my New Year's resolution for YouTube. I don't believe I'll make much of anything. I don't care. This is enough. Um, I'll try to again if somebody sends something, obviously that'll be notated on the solo channel. But again, the days of trying to fish for votes or subscribers, yeah,
We
I
lost
don't.
a subscriber. In the
I'm
last 28 days, we lost a subscriber here.
sure.
Sorry, guys.
Bob,
Somebody.
I would venture to say that that would not be you.
Well, I mean, I've been part of like 2 of the last 3 shows, so I mean, I'm no correlation expert.
Well, being here and subscribing though are two different things, though, Bob. You don't have to be
See,
subscribed
I'm
to be here.
saying,
So,
but my presence probably nudged somebody to be like, I'm out.
no, because since it happened
I'm
in
joking.
the last 28 days, I'm trying to think. Like, what did we talk about within the last month, let's say, that would cause somebody to want to leave? Isn't that every show? Like, we would scare some people off because we have no filter and
Well, no, I was kind of rambling 2 or 3 shows ago. There towards the end, so well, it's probably Carlos. He's probably just like, I'm out.
we don't, as we've always said though, we don't do this for subscribers, for likes, for dislikes, for like,
I barely do this, so I definitely don't do it for that.
well, and Dave, like you were saying, like me, the only reason most people who watch my videos watch this at some point,
Yep.
whether it be live, whether it be in the archives, whatever. So everything I've shown here, I would be re-showing on my own channel. The only reason why I still put it on my own solitary channel is there are a few small handful of people that still watch it that don't watch this. And it's a history type thing.
Mm.
So, but outside of that, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could strip out certain sections from here and throw it up on the channel too. But I think that would probably take more work than just hit record and make a video.
Probably.
But yeah, my only goal for 2024 is to try and be more active from a comment perspective with people, not making videos, because like the 2024 budget is like, so it's going to be more hyper focused on my friends more than anything. Not that I'm burnt out. It's not where I'm going with this. I think I'm going to shift back to trying to finish some sets, get shit organized, go through some stuff to where it's sets that I really want to get knocked out within, 10 or 15 cards type situation. Dave and his food. But like, I feel like I'm more disconnected because I've always said, like, I watch a lot of videos. I watch them in my downtime. 99.9% of the time, one of those thumbs up for people who make videos who watch this are from me. But like, I don't ever comment. I don't. Not because I don't want to. I've said this before. I get tired of the normal great pickups. Awesome care package. Awesome cards. Like you can watch it, you can start a video and put in a comment and say that and not even watch it.
Yep.
Well, what would you say if somebody got 2 awesome cards? Because I know what I would say.
Awesome
That's,
cards.
No. I mean, yes, but I would say now that's a double dose of awesomeness. Sorry. I'm going to go. I'm being paid.
In the bop. But like, seriously, in all seriousness, and this is not a dog on people. Look, we all have lives outside of this. We all have to adult in some shape, form, or fashion. It's just what we do.
I trust people have lives outside
okay.
of it. I trust.
That's fair. That's fair, Dave, since you're going to throw that out there. But in all seriousness and all reality, anybody can click on a video that somebody makes, put a comment, great pickups, great hookup, great cards, whatever, and not even watch the fucking video.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I have always said, when I make a comment, I try and at least get something in the middle and something towards the end. Because that, in fact, now granted, I could sit there and fast forward to the middle and fast forward to the end. Technically, I could be doing that. But why? Why not just watch the video in that situation? And no, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying anybody does it. But it's a possibility. And I want to show respect to people who take time to make the video and demonstrate that I've actually watched it. Now, doesn't mean I enjoyed it. That's a different topic of conversation. But most people I am subscribed to, most people that I watch, I enjoy it. I enjoy what they show for a multitude of reasons. I like the cards. I want to learn something. Carlos has said it multiple times. Content, it comes in different shapes and forms and fashions and whatever, or fashion sense for that matter, depending on who you talk to. Entertainment, educational, just to show off stuff. Like, so every video has a purpose, and everybody who makes videos dictates what that purpose is. So, anyways.
Could you say that again?
No. I cannot.
It's odd. You see, again, there's still a bunch of the clicks. They still run in packs and all that shit. But when you stumble across somebody that's like legitimately excited to get something, Steve, Purple GT today. So I finished because again, I try to watch when there's time and when I've got to have the energy to want to watch card videos because it becomes mundane. Hey, I picked up this like 61 Koufax PSA 6. Congrats, but if I haven't heard you talk about it as it's your, I won't even say grail card, but if it's not something that's been on like your top whatever list, and it's just another card for a registry or to sort of keep up with your pack of people you're running with, because vintage is what they like, and everybody just sort of so it flies on like a big pile of cow shit. It's you're going to the same thing all the time, but is that what you really want? Is that what you really care about? Is it just because you know it'll keep you inserted in, no pun intended, inserted in the group that you're running with, or you want to run with, the cool kids as you see them? Or is it going to be something you really want to pick up? I mean, yeah, I want to pick up a Nolan Ryan rookie because as a fucking kid, you looked in the Beckett, that was always like a $1,200 to $1,600 card, and you're like, what the hell? That's insane when you're looking at like George Brett rookie, like 100, Yount 80, Johnny Bench like 120. It's everybody else. And again, you go way back, and yeah, Mantle, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card was like $10,000 then. So that's something that, as a kid, you're like, well, that's not going to be something obtainable in a. Even then, it's like I can't get that. That Nolan Ryan, that's going to be like the fucking. That's the tip of Mount Everest. So, but a 61 Koufax or a 68 Clemente. I mean, unless you're a specific fan of those teams, for me, and again, I'm starting the new year with a different attitude. Why is everybody getting so fucking like? I mean, everybody's like trying to give like a reach around when they pick up the card. You know, like somebody like Steve Purple GT picks up a Ray Buchanan Collector's Edge Red Ink Auto to 10. I know how fucking tough those are to find. Yeah, it's Ray Buchanan, but that shouldn't fucking discriminate against the importance of that card being acquired by a collector of that team and that era and that player. It's not a fucking, it's not vintage in your name or fucking old pre-war or whatever it is. Like, you don't, you try to wade through it and you don't have all the same shit that everybody's. It's literally you have 10 keywords and you're like, pick out 3 to make your YouTube name. It becomes to the point where at some point we're going to have discussions on other content video making ideas along with stuff we've already thought of.
So Dave, just real quick, and I don't want to cut you off because you're on a roll, and I like it when Dave's on a roll. But to add to your point, and this is part of the struggle that I think like you and I have specifically with stuff like that. We are football guys by nature, by heart. Yes, you love Josh Johnson, but like what's near and dear to your heart is more football related. So yes, we can get more excited over a Gold Star Redemption leather quad because we know how rare they are. And it doesn't matter who gets it or who's on it. We know how rare the card is. So yes, that's going to pique our interest more from a rarity perspective. What's going on, Jeff? On the flip side, not that we have anything against baseball. We have a lot of baseball guys in here. We have a lot of hockey guys in here. Yes, I know we don't talk about hockey a whole lot. We do on occasion, especially when we have Jeff on. Bottom line is, and we'll say this multiple times, This is not a dig on what anybody does, collects, adds to their collection. That's not what any of this is. It's one of those, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. You're showing, there are times in which people are showing off cards, like you said, for a registry or whatever, but is it really something that excites them? Or, like you said, are they just doing it because they feel like that's what they need to put out there to appease the masses for their buddies? Is it possible? I would hate to think anybody who makes YouTube videos is not making videos for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bob, you make like one video a year. Do you make it to appease other people?
Well, I mean, when I was making videos more often, it would you could fall into the trap of like buying stuff just to show, so you have something to show. It can still, like, you can be influenced by the community or the social media aspect of it and still stay in your wheelhouse, like be affected in a negative way, like buying stuff and I don't need to be buying stuff, even though it still fits in my PC. I don't know, like I don't know who's friends with who's in what cliques, who's trying to be friends with who. If I notice somebody that overly excited about a mundane, what I would consider to be a mundane card, I assume I just don't know enough about the story. But because like you know, we're talking about, we can be excited about those cards because we're intimately involved, figuratively speaking, with each other's PCs and talk about wants all the time, you know, and even if it's just Vinny getting a card to check off his Lemieux list, if it's, you know, maybe it's not about the card so much the deal he got, like, we could be excited about. There's a lot to be excited about. I mean, who knows what that guy's budget is like. Maybe he found a PSA 6 that is for a registry that he does want to brag to his buddies about, but maybe he's so pumped about it because he thinks it looks like an 8 and he got it for a 6. You know what I mean? There's like, I don't know, guys. You know me. I try to see the good in it all. Again, not watching enough to know, again, who's trying to, like, because I guarantee, I know that that's happening. I mean, there's definitely inauthentic people out there doing stuff on social media just to get noticed by other people. I mean, that's human nature. So,
I'm,
you know,
I'm not focusing on the negative aspect of this though either, Bob. And I know what you're saying in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Check your bingo card. Is that what I think your retort is reflecting towards? I see your point, and I agree 100%. My question though is, do people not really show the level of excitement? Like, because, like, in my mind, hence the reason why most people open care packages on video, because you want the genuine reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, like, there are probably some good actors out there. I know there were some back in the day. But like now, there's probably some good actors out there. The whole point of opening stuff live on camera is for the reaction, because you typically can't fake it. And if, in your instance though, if somebody's getting a PSA 6 for their registry and they think it should be an 8, and, you know, they're showing it to their main,
it's like,
group.
Yeah, what excites them about that card? Like, what excites them about that card? If it is just to check a box, that doesn't excite me, and probably wouldn't warrant like an enthusiastic comment. But
people out there are probably, where I would do, like, I would see somebody's mundane mail video and not really see any types of like attaboys. So I'm like, you feel compelled out of like sense of community to just be like, hey, nice card, man. I'm glad, whatever. It's, I mean, right or wrong. I don't know, like, but I don't do that anymore. Like, I don't have time to do that anymore. As cynical as that sounds, I don't have time to do that anymore. So
if you're gonna say it, Bob, you got to say it right. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I ain't got time for that shit.
But even like us, like the people that I feel like, okay, so if I have something, you're gonna share it with maybe people that are surrounding you. Well, how much involved they're in your community, okay, so be it. So then you're gonna like share it on social media, and then you're gonna share it amongst like text groups with your friends, which I feel like where the main, like, the genuine, true, you're gonna share it with your friend of friends that way, and that's probably where you get your most sort of like recognition or enthusiastic attaboys. Mm-hmm. Which is where it should come from, because I don't know, like, I guess if I'm thinking, if I'm the guy posting the video and I'm getting comments from people that I probably could guess like don't really care about my PCs to a greater extent, you know what I mean? Like, but they still take time to like say something like 30 seconds out of the day, even if they just saw, like, fast forwarded to say one thing that they saw in my 10 card mail day. So they picked a card out. I don't care. Like, you did, that's good on you, man. But I can't do that anymore. I don't feel guilty for not doing it anymore either. And I don't expect anybody to do it when I was making videos, So it's like, as soon as the fun gets sucked out of it for me, like I'm getting turned off about it. You know what I mean? So for me to do something video-wise again, it would have to be fun. I don't think I'll be doing mail days. I'm not getting much mail for one, and it's not fun for me. Anyway, let alone you.
And I'm kind of to that point, like Dave was saying earlier. Somebody takes the time out to send me something, I am definitely making a video.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely making a video because I owe them that much. Unless they were adamant, hey, just wanted to send you a few things via text message, via chat, whatever. No video required. I just wanted to send you some stuff. I would still feel... I don't want to say obligated. I don't want to say obligated because that's not the right word. I feel like I owe it to them to still make a video, regardless if they said no video.
Sense of duty. Mm-hmm. Not obligation.
Responsibility. Yeah. Appreciation, because
AKA duty.
Duty's
funner to say, man. You gotta admit, duty.
Duty is a great word. We taken so many ways and left so many ways.
That's right.
It's like, right? We talk about it, and you hear others talk about it too. But when we try to focus on giving recognition in the community, if you want to sit there and stand at your pulpit, beat your chest, and talk about community, I don't care if Dystemic sends me 20 Chargers base cards. I don't care if Steve sends me a care package. I don't care if Bob sends me a bologna sandwich. I'm going to fucking do a video on it because they took the time out of their day, plus time out of whatever other thing to get whatever they got together for me to send it to me.
Plus pay for postage.
Yeah. I'm not going to go and have like a world premiere and like a fireworks background, and you will get your usual video, a long rambling tribe, which people, again, I hate hearing it too. I don't want a long video. Long videos are boring. If you want to give proper appreciation, you don't want to talk about, and I hear the same thing because over the next few weeks, we'll get to my favorite topic, because it is that time of year again. But you hear the same stuff, and I implore you, and this isn't. It'll come off as negative because that's who I am, and that's fine. But when you speak to qualities of somebody you consider a good friend, in the hobby or otherwise, when you hear the same for everything, every person, oh, he's a great guy, or a great gal, a great person. Expound upon that. I mean, does anybody have any vernacular and vocabulary to fucking go past? Hey, you're a swell dude.
Smells like an evergreen forest. You know, give us some details.
Yeah, just be like, hey, Bob was at a show. He texted me, said, hey, look at this card. Do you need it? Boom, hit me up. Micah was at a show. Whoever it is, when you talk about somebody, and it doesn't even have to be card related. You can say, man, this guy was here. This gal was here. These folks were here when I needed them. They didn't bail on me. We were all talking. We all just shot the shit. We shared pictures of our kids. Whatever the case, maybe just say something. You don't need to go into fucking absolutely every finite detail. But if you vote for somebody, you vote for a candidate for a politician. What do you? Hey, they're a nice person. Well, fuck it. Click. That's enough. I'm done. I mean, you want to have something that's an epidermal layer deep or two. You want to fucking give the person that is either watching that video or you're shouting out some context on why this person is important to you, instead of just blasé, generic comments. But that's how I am. That I don't like to fucking hear every year, he's a great collector and a great collection. Well, no shit. What? Say they're steadfast with their collecting progress.
They're very organized.
Their organizational skills are top notch. I mean, it's for me, that's important. I know for 90% of the other populace out here, it doesn't matter. It's about the card, how it's presented to you in film, the 4K, 1080, whatever. It's like, no, we just, when you talk about people that matter to you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, be descriptive. Again, not ultra descriptive. You don't need to go to the bare bones, but just if somebody matters and is important, you don't just say, well, I love Trista. She's a great gal. Well, why? Because she's great. What makes her great? Well, she's super
because
great.
You can stick your fingers in her hair and get them out. Like, you know, it's like
just like mine.
Okay, give us some details.
I
had the same thought. If and it's sort of going back a second, but if you had like the balls to DM somebody and be like, hey, I wanted to send you something. Could you PayPal me X amount of dollars for postage so I can send it to you? That would be pretty funny to do that, in my mind. Just to see what kind of react. And then you'd be like, no, I'm just kidding, but I wanted to see. It's like somebody, well, never mind. No, I won't get into the one time that I was reaching out to somebody to send them something, and they said they'd appreciate it if I followed them on Instagram, and I'll send it to another Pirates fan at that point. He didn't want to be friends.
Okay, back up.
He didn't want to be friends. So yeah, they're out there, man.
Let me get this right. You wanted to send something to somebody, and they.
I didn't make that known. I didn't make that known. I reached out to somebody because it looked like from videos we might have some of the same interests. So I was saying, just inquiring, and he was thankful that I reached out, and he'd love to have me as a subscriber. And that was the end. That was it. Period. Follow me on all my socials. Thank you. So I unfollowed him.
I'm just
Yeah, dude. I mean, as a whole, social media is one of the most like superficial things going. So the fact that we found three and a handful of people in the chat, I can't speak for everybody in there, decent dudes, real people. That's kind of like a small miracle because it's not just this screen right here, but pretty much all the people closest to me I've met through this. I've said that before, but
as
you
as
gotta
have
you
I.
gotta sort through the weeds. You gotta sort through the weeds. Um, it's just like at a certain point, do you get tired of looking through the weeds because it's just like so many more weeds than ever before. So it's like, is it even like I'm cool with the friends that I got. I don't need to find any other cool dudes, some real collectors out there in the hobby to send care packages to. Like I can get jaded to that extent.
And I could see that though too. But at the end of the day, if you truly leverage this as a foundation in hopes to build relationships and friendships, it's like outside of that, you come together through cards. It's you don't remain friends because you get shit from people or you send stuff to people or anything along those lines either.
Absolutely
It's
not.
like you don't stop being friends with somebody because all of a sudden you decided to stop sending care packages. Like, what the fuck? I haven't experienced that personally. I'm sure that other people may or may not have, but that's not the point of this at all. For those who are actually like, and I get it, there are some people out there that they do this because this is what they want to do. They want to share things. That's great. They only go to a certain level from the friendship perspective. There's nothing wrong with that because to a degree, I'm still somewhat guarded. I've always been a little guarded, which is why only a small handful of people have been let into the inner sanctum, as I've called it. Because, like, this is going to sound really bad, but I don't trust a lot of people. And I don't need, because there are people out there that know how to trick the system, who can find information, who can get addresses, somehow, shape, form, or fashion, end up on your doorstep, and before you know it, somebody ganks your shit. I'm the last person you'd want to come gank from, anyways.
I had gank shit on my bingo card tonight. So
Because, like,
keep it going.
I don't. Now, if you're Orlando, yes, I'm picking on you, Orlando. You've got some high dollar stuff. Some high dollar stuff. I'd be. I love you, man. You got balls as big as coconuts. There's some things that like only need to be shared with a small handful of people. And I'm only saying that because like I would hate for something to happen. Not that it would, but you get where I'm going with this. There are a lot of people out there that do this and want to share for the love of the hobby. And I think it's great. I think it's great. To take it to the next level, become friends, find friends, long lost like brothers and sisters, because we do have ladies in the hobby, is even better. It's what I enjoy most out of this is not the comments, not the likes from videos or whatever. What I enjoy most of this is one, when I do send something to somebody, the reactions, because I live for it. and I can honestly say I'm speaking for Dave and Vinny, that we got the reactions we wanted out of Bob last year, I should say. So, mission accomplished. And two, that I have people that I can talk to, confide in, ask for advice, be a shoulder to cry on at a moment's notice. That is more important to me than anything, and will always be more important than the cards. Vinny and I used to talk freaking 3 or 4 times a week. We don't do it as much as what we used to because the calls would last forever and then we'd be dog tired the next day. But we've shared a lot of stuff between us. I know a lot about him. He knows a lot about me. I've had the same conversations with Dave. I've had the same conversations with Bob. Those mean more to me than anything because I have built that foundation, built that relationship to where I'm trusted to share for an individual to share information that not everybody knows. That's very special to me. Yes, I'm getting a little sentimental. But the fucking cards are irrelevant. The cards is what brought us together.
Yeah, it's not a tagline at the fucking end to get subs, to get notoriety, to bring in views. It's the fucking way we do our hobbying and the way we do our life.
And Bob decided to go upside down briefly.
Am I still upside down?
No, you're
No,
good now.
not anymore. You were. you rotated. So I didn't mean to get all like sentimental and wishy-washy, but it's been a while since I've gone on that soapbox.
All right, that's your one. It's January 3rd. You used your one wishy-washy episode, the first go of the year. All right.
No, there may be others, just depending on situation and circumstance. But when I tell people that I love you, I mean it. So no reach around included, by the way.
That's a bonus coupon.
That you can't afford. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff's another one. Like, I'm jealous of Dave because Dave gets to chat with you, whether that be on Instagram or Facebook Messenger or whatever.
He's just our representative, man. Dave speaks for the group.
That's scary.
Well, he is the brains, and like
and again,
I haven't shied away from that. Like, if this is successful or falls flat on its face, it's Dave's fault.
which is fine. That's not like I've ever collected anything before or done anything before, especially in the collecting realm, that's failed miserably. Well, let me cast my gaze over there. Oh, Jason Morrow, Doug Martin, Mike Sims Walker, Josh McCon, Josh Johnson,
Keaton McCardle. He's over here.
Andre Caldwell.
Yeah, I mean Jerome Simpson, Dennis Northcutt, Gino Gaduli, Walter Reyes, Adarius Bowman, Bobby Abreu. That's one that doesn't get any hobby love, but very successful career.
Frank Thomas. You got a lot of the '90s stuff.
Piazza. Again, just
Go ahead, Bob.
I said piazza because you have to say it like that.
Piazza.
Or what do you call them, Dave?
Pepperoni.
That's I was getting ready to say is it pepperoni.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. It's just this time of year. I again, it's sort of like the dovetailing off the Christmas. You want to show the people maybe if they didn't send you something, which again nobody's ever required, or we sit there and say, hey, that card sure would look nice in my collection. If you ever think of giving it up, let me know. I will never. Steve will never. Vincenzo will never. Robert will never sit there and panhandle or message or try to
Speak
give
for
that
yourself, Dave. Speak for yourself. Speak for
that,
yourself.
that gentle elbow to the ribs several times a day. Yeah, a little shimmy under the chin. It just if you're the new term seems to be giving flowers. You're gonna give flowers to your fellow collectors that you care about or enjoy. People in your life. Make sure they they know that others know. Again, this gal has a great collection. Great. Okay. Give details. That is exactly what if anybody that here at this moment in time or the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's heard it 3-4 times now. You make that YouTube Hall of Fame video, you make some kind of you get the care package in the mail from insert person's name here. Do that. Even if it goes over your 7-minute max video. Because people start dropping off after that bullshit. If nothing else, people deserve your time. And if you can't give your time to the people that matter the most, those people don't need to be in your life and you don't need to be in theirs. So if you don't have time for the people you care about, nobody's got time for you.
Oh, see, Vinny has something he wants to say, but yet he refuses to go off of mute.
And then I'll say this too, because I looked up Cardboard Underground lowest rung. Showed me a card earlier. It's 1 in 39 packs. 1 in 39, not 1 in 71. There's an artist proof from 97 Pinnacle. I thought it was a little harder to get than it was. So I stand corrected. So I want to get that little business out of the way. So Vincenzo.
Soapbox extend.
Thank you, Stephen. First off,
who's
paying $950 friggin' dollars? $950 for a hobby box of Prism football for 2023. First off, have we all just smoked the devil's lettuce and just gone goofy? Yes, devil's lettuce. I said it.
Refer to past episodes when I mentioned the manufacturers got everybody by the balls.
Yeah.
They're going to do what the market dictates.
Who buys this stuff? And he's like, they've been calling all day to the shop. What? And that guy had it cheaper than everybody. He had it for $7.99. Woo! $7.99. That's $150 off. Good Lord.
Better rookie class. Hence the reason why the price is higher.
I don't care if Jesus's rookie card was in there. Well, maybe. It depends. My point being is $907 for a box of cards. Come on, guys. It's not cheap. Like it's like one of the flawless and all that. Maybe even the cup. The cup's $1,200 Canadian, I think. Come on, get real. And you want to grow this hobby exponentially? There's going to be a lot of stupid people in it that's going to lose a lot of money, and then it's all going to go kabooming, and then you're toast. So that's the first thing that I was thrown off. Second of all, if you saw me coming through the door carrying my dog, it's because Dryden hurt his paw yesterday. And unlike some other people in the community whose cards are worth more than their family dog, not mine. I'll burn all this shit tomorrow if it meant the life of my dog.
What was that? 44 in 40 something seconds. Shit came out of his mouth.
Yes,
Shit.
it did. Because I've never heard a more ludicrous comment in my entire life. I don't know if he was joking. He sure didn't seem like it, but the family dog's worth more than the card's worth more than the family dog.
Well, maybe a bunch of pizzas are worth more than a family dog too.
No.
Are you sure?
I was giving this hobby up. If it meant Ghost got to had to take pills that cost $900 a month, guess what? Bye-bye card collecting. Seriously, people. Priorities. Adulting. Is this worth more than we're talking about a dog? Wonder if it was a human. Dear God. Where are we going with that? So in 2024, take this hobby a little less seriously than it's life and death, because it ain't. The only thing that matters in my hobby is that I get to share with a bunch of dudes and ladies and people that I enjoy being around. Because if I can't talk to anybody, it just sits in a room and I stare at it. Ooh, I got a 64, the top 20 cards of 1954. Who cares? Jeez, Marie, come on, people. Get your shit together. That's twice. People need to stop thinking this hobby is so important. Making friends just to get cards, go pound salt. Come on now. Pound sand, pound salt. Depends if it's Rick saying it or somebody else, because his was saying, my mentor from when I was going through, when I first got my job. Anyhow, we have to start putting this thing in perspective, because God Almighty, they use. I watch these kids. Kids don't say that at that age. My kid might, but that's true. My kid is kind of advanced. Anyhow, it seems like we're reading off a script. You know, it seems fugazi, fake. Don't be sitting there worried about pulling a $300 card. My kid opens a pack of Pokemon, they get something shiny, woo, they're elated. Opening packs with me are more happy than $5, $10, whatever the pack costs, a $20 blaster box, who cares? In 2024, I beseech thee, I'm going to use big words. Make this hobby something you enjoy. Looking at cards, having the cards, great. But don't worry about contact information. Worry about things, the actual contact, the emotional contact you have with another human being in this hobby, because it'll do you some good.
Don't preach, Reverend Anthony.
Yeah, thank you. My point is, just find yourself a Dave, find yourself a Steve, find yourself a Bob, find yourself a Jeff, find yourself a Paul, find yourself a Joe, Orlando, Mike, Bobby Burrell. Find yourself a Carlos. Come on now. Anyhow, my point being is this. If you're in this just to talk about statistics and all this stuff, great. If it's your business, I can't fault you for doing what you do. But if you're just here to throw out stuff just to get likes, views, and all that other stuff, go away. Just go away, go away, go away. But if that's your thing, I guess, in life, do it. But my thing is if you say the people who's worth the most things, the friendships, act like it. Soapbox retract, make me small. Had enough. I got to go hit on my inhaler. I'm winded. And I also lost 50 pounds, so I feel pretty good. I'm pert as a rotten buck. Okay.
Stove's mentor, would you like to
On a lighter note, I got the Final Jeopardy question right tonight. So I'm pretty much like a champion. So very rarely do I do it. Between me, my mom, and my dad, we're like almost half a player. So
Just half a
we're
player.
fine. I'm still waiting for that hobby category to just come across. Errors in overproduction or something, and then I'll just nail it.
Panini parallels will not be your strong suit.
No.
Or your final Jeopardy is O-Pee-Chee's version of refractors. 3 years in a row, Bob. Come on, you can do it. What are they called?
Wait a minute.
See you through.
Peachy Premier is
Platinum.
chrome.
Peachy Platinum.
Yeah, Peachy Platinum. They're called flashbangs, right?
Somewhere
called,
over the
hills. Stars.
Rainbow.
Rainbow fever.
It's rainbow, Bob. I'll just remind you every year. It's okay. That's what friends are for.
Rainbow fever. That's right. Dude, I have to remember useless Monty Python lines. How am I going to retain stuff like that?
That's what friends are for. I'll keep that one in my knowledge bank so you don't have to. I got you, brother.
Rainbow. Yeah, I was working at a house 2 days ago, and my sister was cleaning out the kitchen, and she found some old 2019 Utz potato chip cards. There was a Soto in there, so second year Soto Utz card. It had like spaghetti sauce on it, but it's still cool.
Still gradable.
That was right next to like the heroin spoons that we found. So needless to say, they got the place we were at. The former residents were evicted due to lack of payment. We found some documentation saying this dude was like $4,200 in arrears on his rent. So that's like 6 months, I think. His name, I forget. I probably wouldn't put it out there anyway. The cops are probably looking for him. But it's funny the way Pittsburgh. So we go. They go to this place to look at it, and the guy is like typical, like Pittsburgh construction job under the table. He's a brother of a friend, and dude, you can't understand a word this guy says. Like, talk about marbles in your mouth. So it's best to try to text him, except he uses voice to text. So it takes a little bit of effort, but you can get the general idea. But we go there, and he just says, yeah, you can work whenever you want. You can work midnight to 5 if you want. It's always open. So this is in the city limits of Pittsburgh, just a rental that's being redone that's got all these tools and stuff in it. And it's just open. Like, it just don't make sense to me. Now, granted, it's not like a bad neighborhood or anything. It's like right around the corner from where my parents live. But if I was not such an upright, standing citizen, I'd have to make some phone calls to people that do those kinds of things. But I am an upright, standing citizen.
You are upright. Yes, you are upright.
I'm a citizen. Now I say I'm sitting right now, but I've stood before. Upright is actually the part I have a hard time with. So. Because standing don't mean you're upright.
Well, this is true. This is true.
Well, I got Space Mutiny on in the background here, Dave. It's quite the movie.
So good.
It's a lot of like. I feel like I'm watching a jazzercise like infomercial, like with all the leotards and spandex. I don't know what those things are.
I love the line where Have you gotten through the movie yet, or no?
Oh yeah, I've did multiple viewings. I'm just got it with the sound down. I can kind of like pinpoint where their jokes are when they like think of what they say when I see what I'm seeing. I'm kind of doing the Dave where you just play TV in the background. So, except yours, we definitely know when you're watching because you have to look over here. But see, you place your phone right here. See, if I pull my pad down like this, you don't know if I'm looking at the phone or the TV, huh?
Yeah, I did that.
So, see that? This ain't my first live stream.
Jeez, we can see where your priorities lie, Bob. You're watching a freaking movie instead of focusing on the show.
Listen, I'm easily distracted. I could do Vinny's rant. I could reenact Vinny's rant word for word almost, but not with as much enthusiasm. So, you know, I don't have as much experience on the soapbox as Vinny does. So I'm not as confident in my delivery.
1, 2, 3, go.
The hobby sucks. People lighten up. Don't take shit so seriously. Get your shit together. Love those that love you, and do it selflessly. Be a good person in 2024. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful summary, Bob. Beautiful
Yes,
summary.
thank you. Maybe I'm technically a paraphrase, but yeah, you know, we'll see.
Cliff Notes. We'll accept the Cliff Notes version.
Right.
We'll accept the Cliff Notes version.
So here's this week's piece of found random Steeler swag. My mom had like 6 pairs of just the wackest earrings, Steeler earrings. So I said, "Mom, which ones of these are the worst?" And she picked these ones. So she said she wouldn't wear them. This little Steeler golden wreaths adorning the Steeler logo, of course.
Next time we see you, Bob, we expect you to be to have an earring and you be wearing one of those. Okay.
You know, I used to get questions because I got a freckle like right in the center of my right earlobe, and people would always think I had my right ear pierced, and that's not really going anywhere, that story. But they used to think that.
Well, I know
you've heard my stories before. They used to be not going anywhere.
I knew what you were trying to imply without saying. But that was back in the.
We probably just lost another subscriber.
But that was back in the 80s and the 90s.
That's true.
It was quote unquote a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we go off the rails.
Well, then
again, what else is new
for that?
When do we talk about the YouTube Hall of Fame? Is that next week? Or a couple weeks?
Dave has already got that on the agenda for this evening.
Because that's like my annual video. It's so you guys brace yourselves.
I will look forward to watching it. Whatever you do, please, 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 don't redo what you did last year. That was tough. It was hard to see.
Yeah, that was Bob Lewis in the 11th hour, out of ideas and not wanting to be on camera. So
very creative. Like I'm not knocking the
creativity. I went too fast. I went too fast, you know, and didn't figure out the lighting, and I didn't care either. So I left it up. That was one take.
But you at least made one.
Yeah, right.
And that accounts for something. Just saying.
I'm wearing orthopedic socks. For any of you guys that are in your early 40s and are contemplating it, dude, it's the way to go. Like, I get no more lines on my shins, and I don't have the thickest shins. And those socks, some of them socks, you get them lines, and then you take your socks off, and it hurts where the socks used to be. Socks, like one of the most softest things going, hurt me after I take them off. That's not right. These, nothing, man. Nothing.
Do you retain water though, Bob? Because that to me seems like you like retain water in your shins and the bottom of your legs, like swell.
No, just tight socks.
Okay, I thought I'd ask.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. However, I really was feeling old 2 days ago. It was real cold, and the weather and like old people and their knees. Like, no, I tore my ACL on my right leg when I was 18, and dude, I swear I felt like it was if I had put pressure. I don't know if I didn't catch it like kind of going that way, it just almost felt like it was gonna pop again, man. So yeah, I was walking around like a limped Bob Lewis.
A limped Bob Lewis, like.
I don't know if that is. I bet nobody had that on their bingo card.
Oh, leave it to lowest rung. He probably has it because he continues to win every week. At least so he says.
Are you guys familiar with these treats right here? These vanilla wafers, they come in strawberry and chocolate.
Yes, my brother eats.
Dude,
He's fond
these
of the strawberry.
phenomenal. Just saying.
That'll be a mental note for Christmas as well.
Well,
Yeah, speaking of Christmas treats, I'm down since my wife took one of my packages. I'm down to my last package of Reese's trees. I can
of
sit down and
of
eat.
all the Reese holiday themed things, the eggs are still my favorite, but trees are a close second, with the pumpkins pretty much a third, because like it's shaped like a pumpkin. I expect it to taste like pumpkin.
Yeah.
And I just it didn't work for me. Those are the three, right? I don't think they got anything else. Trees,
Other than
pumpkins, and
the
eggs.
other than the regular ones, like just the regular.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do.
Better half is fond of the eggs.
The eggs, dude. And now, if you had to go Cadbury egg versus the Reese egg, there's days when the Cadbury wins, and it's not often, but there's just times when the Reese egg gets overruled. I don't know. I'm sucking
As long
for
as
a
it's
Cadbury.
caramel.
Probably from that commercial way back when they had all the animals dressed up like rabbits. You remember that one?
I do.
Buck, 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 buck. And the lion.
They still
The
air it.
lion. What's the lion?
Well, gotta have hearts for Valentine's Day, of course.
Made up holiday.
No, sweetest day.
Sweetest day. I knew that
You
was
can stick
coming.
sweetest day up your keister. That is the most made up holiday. And from what I was told, it was supposed to be originally the dude's version. So the lady or the significant other, in whatever case it may be, would buy the other person who normally doesn't get something on Valentine's Day a gift. But that's not how it works here. Now it's just Valentine's Day part 2.
See, we don't celebrate it in my house, so
You hear that? I lost better half appreciation day, so I gotta. I that's why I'm forced to do sweetest day. I was also single and had money. Gracias. Thank you.
that's my saying. Ay. So do we want to hash the conversation, Dave? Since it is right around the corner.
We can wait till the video comes out.
Oh yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta prompt it with the thumbnail, dude. You can't just dive into that.
Excuse me.
I got some stuff to sleeve up here, guys. Sorry,
It's all right.
but nothing really exciting to show. Maybe.
Did you get that card?
Oh no, I can't. Okay,
$418.
here's what I got it. So this, I can't. I didn't see this insert set. This is from the update. All aces,
Yeah, beautiful set.
but I did. It's not a rare one, right? It's nothing special, right? You've seen a lot of these, or because I couldn't
It's not-
find when I looked.
It's not super rare, but
All right.
it's
They
not
look sharp.
like I can tell you this much: you're not gonna get one in every blaster box or in every.
It's not like the stars of the MLB where you had like the foily rainbow foil board. You got 2-3 of those per blaster. Those will come maybe one every couple, maybe 3. So I mean, it's not a super rare card, but they're with them being nice and not.
Yeah, if
it makes it a little
I'm imagining they're all pitchers. So if your guy was in there, probably isn't Otani. I'm sure I'm sure that's a keeper.
Kershaw and Garrett Cole.
Yeah, they're pretty
I
close.
did get some Bowman 22 Bowman's or Bowman Chrome. So I pulled this one. This is nothing special, but it's a wit. I usually didn't get like just the base Bowman Chrome. It was always like the prospect stuff. So to have like I have this as in the paper card, but never stuck around. The Bowman Chrome came out so late in the year, my budget was already well blown. I got one.
Well, that and trying to find it. Trying to find it anywhere.
Yeah, right. Oh, I got one numbered card. Willie Fanas, Fanas. That made me think of that stupid song. Fanas.
His name is Bananas. Fanas.
Yeah. I bet he's never heard that before ever. Dude, my dad on the way out of church says the one of the ushers' name is Mike, and he goes, Mike. He's like, you ever heard that before? Did you guys ever seen that commercial about like Hump Day, the camel? And yeah, right? My dad does that to him. And he's like,
he's his favorite person.
I almost like if it's almost like, have you ever heard the chicken cross the road joke before? You know what I mean? He's like, get this guy out of here. Pretty much shunning him for asking such an asinine question. Oh man,
I don't know why I'm chuckling right now. Bob goes off on whatever, and then it's just like we go silent.
I mean, I'll bring up one more random thing after another, but I feel if you guys want to get it back on track, you better do it soon.
Well, I was gonna show, and I don't like showing Christmas stuff because you know how much I love Christmas and holidays of such. But I got 2 things from my mom, which again, it's like 2 years in a row that I had to try to hold my shit together.
Huh.
So a yearbook, and it's like, wow. If I can find it here.
Family or
correct.
I'm assuming this is going to be senior.
Correct.
So
the original. Again, you're not going to be able to see, but where can I? Below my finger. See the finger?
move over just a little bit.
Almost.
Other way.
Other way.
There you go. Yep.
Oh, sweet, man.
So it's got all the verbiage in there from the. So there's that. My brother got one from 55. She's keeping his senior one. And then
Oh, wow.
so
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
So yeah, reading some of that's brutal. So I'm gonna try to use my limited talents writing and try to deduct feelings through expression into like a song type thing. When I could just like sit there and focus, because reading through some of that, I'm just like, okay, this can easily jostle some nerves. So that pretty much that's what I did right away. I mean, immediately. So, like, I don't know how much more she has of like, that type of shit laying around, but I'm like seeing that. I'm like, because I felt the bigger book, and I'm like, there's a USS Enterprise, not the Star Wars thing, but the actual naval ship. My brother was on there, the one that's in Vegas, and I was on there when we had like I think it's like the Tiger cruise or the Cub cruise or something like that they used to have. Obviously now it's decommissioned, and I think they tore it apart or scrapped it. But there's like a book for every cruise, so that's I was thinking maybe that's what she got, because I felt sort of like, again, one of those types of books, and it's like, oh, I don't need to read through any of this shit. But so now I'm looking on again where other people want to get their fucking PSA 6 card. I'm looking at Ottumwa, Iowa yearbooks now and trying to like fill out from his junior high through what is either his brother or sister when he last graduated in like 71 or 73. So again, I stuff that even if I put a video out, what the fuck are you gonna say? Cool yearbook. Thanks for the Korean War update. Russia's not sending missiles. No Cuba. Red zone Cuba. It's like, and I get that. Those are videos that if I put them out would not be obviously for anyone except the closest. But like you said, text messages. That's the shit that would be in the text messages. But that's the stuff. If I'm gonna buy stuff, other than already starting the fucking the pot of excitement for the 2024 Christmas episode. I mean, there's stuff I'm picking up, but I mean, it's not anything noteworthy where I want a gaggle of people to get excited over a $5 card, even if I'm like, oh wow, another Josh Johnson auto that I've got 17 of. Like, couldn't you put that towards like a parking pass or something? Or it's like, so, but yeah, that's, and then Trista got me again. I don't like. I've said it. I can't be succinct enough in my when I tell people I don't like getting gifts because I think of I listen. I know, and this doesn't go for you guys, but I mean, just in my life, it's a lot of not listening and thinking. My brother got some stuff for like Naomi, and I was sort of disappointed with that, just because it was stuff that, again, while it's well-meaning, I could tell it was sort of like an 11th hour attempt at getting stuff. And I could see on her face, like opening the stuff, she's like, huh. And again, I don't like to just play the spoiler and be like the unappreciative cunt, but it takes, again, back to communication. 2 minutes. Hey, what's your kid into? What size do they wear? Keep going on about it because it's like, but yeah, to see that, and I'm just like,
Is it wrong of me to know that Dave wears extra large shorts?
the shirts keep growing, and I gotta go on the Vinny train soon because I stepped on a scale and that was not a pleasant sight. I'm just like, holy Christ, that's a number.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I'm worried my Christmas present from my wife.
Earbuds?
No, the
Onesie?
the leather jacket.
Look at you, Fonzie.
You got a leather onesie?
No.
I don't know whether to say Fonzie or Negan because there's a lot of zippers on that one.
There's only 3.
Fonzie didn't have any. So
It's the style. Now,
I have one
nowadays-
question, Steve.
What's that?
I actually have 2. Do you own pomade and or a switchblade? That's
No.
probably one question. Kind of 2. You don't?
No.
Neither. Okay, you're good. You're good, man. I have no worries that you own that jacket now.
I'm confused.
Sharks and the Jets.
I mean, you just
Okay.
you know,
West Side
you
Story.
wear leather jacket, you start hanging out with the wrong crowd, man. I got your back.
It's
Yeah.
actually been a tradition.
Pounding your smokes against your wrist.
Well, I pound my
That you
cigarettes.
got out of your sleeve.
You pound against the palm, don't pound the sand. But once you get to the wrist and you start doing it there, then you're in trouble.
Be careful saying pound the palm. People might think something else.
Especially if there's hair growing on it.
I'm
No,
glad
I
she's
remember-
this one.
My sister had the leather jacket, a brown one growing up. It was a big deal. And it had like the white fur, like it was almost like a bomber jacket type thing.
Mhm.
I was jealous, but I could never pull it off.
No, my wife every few years she gets me a new one. So it started my mother years ago because I'd always wanted a leather jacket, always. Because I always wore like starter jackets or sports related jackets and stuff like that. And when you get older, you need something non-sports related. So I chose leather. So my mom bought me my first one years ago. And yes, I still have it. Then my mother-in-law bought me one. And then my wife has bought me 3. So this is the 3rd one that I've owned. And I still have all the other ones. Like I don't ever get rid of them. So Bob is stripping.
I got a cool new coat too. Except I found this one in my dad's basement in some cellophane. I think it was a stadium giveaway.
Listen to the sound.
A warm jacket.
Dude, it's got like, it actually has like cloth handles, but yeah. Feels like you're running at an incredible rate, Harry. So, it actually, I'm already sweating from wearing it. It's not very breathable. And check this out. It says, to clean, wipe with a warm, wet, soapy cloth. Line dry only. Do not use detergents. Do not dry clean. Do not press. Do not tumble dry. Like, that's a lot of work for a stadium giveaway jacket. Dang. I got to carry a warm washcloth, soapy one around.
Yes, the thing
So it's
about it is, though,
it's not leather, but it's like
it wouldn't
it's
stain.
like the top layer of pleather, basically.
That sounded like plastic.
Yeah, I can't wear this to the coal furnace, that's for sure.
Accurate, Jeff. Accurate.
But I do. This is the only thing that saves it. These cloth things right here. Oh yeah, it's a large, so I can wear it for another couple of years.
Yeah, Trista surprised me. I got her some stuff that she'd wanted, and then she pushed the bag towards me, and I'm like, she had put a gag gift in there of like these headphones that I'd mentioned previously. Like, I wouldn't mind getting a pair of nice headphones, like the wireless kind. Again, something I'll never buy, but it's not something I need. It's something I really like because again, that will obviously give the implication to anybody that wants to talk to me. I've got headphones on. Go away. Unless it's something very like important. So she had the bag, and then I don't even remember the brand. And I looked, and I try to be polite. So I'm like, oh, and again, still with like the price sticker on there. I'm like, this is odd. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't get to wrap it or anything. And like, oh, that's all right. Yeah, headphones. That's pretty nice. Thank you. And she's like, she's cracked up. She's like, no, those were ones my mother got me for whatever reason. And no, here's your, and they're a fucking pair of Dre Beats. And I'm like, you. She's like, what are you doing? Why? Don't do this. I don't know why, but I feel just horrible when I get shit like that. It's like, it don't spend money and to that degree ever, and it just that's how I am, and that's not gonna fucking change.
Did you call her a cunt like you said to me, Dave?
No, I saved that for you to make you feel special.
That's your word.
And Robert and Mark and Joe, and I mean it's like the inner sanctum word.
Are they over the ear, Dave, or are they earbuds?
Oh fuck! It's over the ear. I will never do the something about Mary Jizz droplets. I can't. I look at those and I get frustrated. Naomi's mom got her those for Christmas, and I just say, "You look fucking stupid with them." I'm like, I can't. That I don't. I see the Bluetooth thing, and I'm just those things. It's an instant trigger for me. And again, you guys can wear them. That'll be fine. I'll mutter under my breath or as I'm walking away or something. But it just most of the people I've seen with that are people that don't need to be wearing them.
Have you ever seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode with like the guy Larry David at the restaurant with the guy who's got the Bluetooth thing on? They're like both sitting at tables by themselves, and like he's just like side by side. You look like an idiot. You're just talking out into the ether, you know. Oh no, I'm on the phone. That doesn't make it okay.
No, and I've seen it at work. It's been the same thing. People are walking down the aisle, and loud talking about something nobody gives a shit about, and do that in your car, do that at home.
I'm a big fan of people that use speakerphone in public and don't put the phone to their ear and just talk at their phone while it's on speaker. Big fan of that.
There's one guy that comes in like every morning and does that and thinks he's important, and I love doing it. But usually I'll just say, "What a fucking tool!" as I walk past him. So I'm like, you can do your business outside of the fucking grocery store, because guess what? You're in there for 20 minutes buying a little green basket of like 5 minutes.
I blame the people they're on the phone with. If I ever find out I'm talking in you guys and I'm on like speakerphone in public, just out while you're walking around showboating, I'm hanging up. Call me when you get home.
I don't think any of us are going to be out in public showboating.
Well, I mean, at least strutting, you know, like, you know, maybe not showboating. That's a little bit much, but you're, you know, strutting at minimum.
The cock of the walk.
Yeah. I know you guys had to do that up in Minnesota. You guys got chickens up there.
Got to keep warm now. It's starting to get cooler.
Even more important.
So I won't have the speakerphone out because my hand will get fucking cold. I'll have it just like here with the gloves. The gloves like Hello?
You know, it was somebody in Minnesota that invented those gloves that like you didn't have to take off to use your smartphone. Like it's got the little pads on the fingers now. You know, it had to be somebody from Minnesota.
I'm sure. Probably in Duluth.
Is that where the smart people are?
Uh,
I wouldn't go that far.
hashtag
No.
allegedly. Heavy on the allegedly.
For reasons.
Many. No, so yeah,
Those are the more tech savvy people, we'll say.
something.
No, we're not saying any of that. So it wasn't in Minnesota. Basically, it was in California where somebody made them. Okay, I hear you.
I was gonna say either or, you're going to be pretty much on point. Minnesota's trying to become junior California.
Somebody from Minnesota that now lives in California, thinking of all their friends back home in Minnesota, and dang, wouldn't it be cool to be able to use your smartphone without taking your gloves off in December?
Or a Californian that moved to Minnesota for a lengthy period of time, 3 to 5 years, then
Or
moved
had
back
a
to
layover
California.
and it was just so cold. And
And
you know,
then moved
like, that's
to
enough for
Colorado.
me.
Yeah, it's,
What's the smallest airport you guys have been to? Just curious. I bet I've been to the smallest one. Like I'm talking like commercial flights, not just like your local Allegheny County airport.
I have to say Ely Airport.
Like
Mine's Little Rock.
I flew into Rapid City, South Dakota. And no, there were like on the departures and arrivals, there were like 2 on each side, and I was one of the arrivals for that day. At the airport was literally like a rest stop. That's pretty much the size of the airport that I had landed, and they had like 1 terminal, well, probably 2 terminals each side of the building. It was pretty awesome. I felt like a drug smuggler, to be honest.
Hibbing and Chisholm. I think they've got one that's about like that. There might be like 4 flights a day, 6 flights a day. I mean, that's
awesome. I just think like you work in like the air traffic control tower. You know, you have all this training like in aeronautics or flight stuff, and you know, you got 4 flights a day or 10 flights a day. Somebody's got to do it though.
You've got more hours to kill at your job than you do flights and your shift.
Well, like it's like you probably need. I'm the air traffic controller, and I own like the local like laundromat. You know what I mean? Because you can't probably make it on a single salary out there if you're only getting 6 flights.
No.
Yeah, the job market doesn't seem pretty hot on filling that job. If you got that job, you're pretty secure in your job though.
I control air traffic on the side.
Could be. And why in the hell would you be flying there anyways, Bob?
Good question. Deadwood, South Dakota was a hot spot for my aunt and my sister. That was like their go-to. They were kind of into the Old West. They loved the landscapes of like South Dakota, the Badlands, and the Indian culture. And it was just kind of that was their spot. They were treated. So when my sister was younger, 13 to 23, she did modeling. And so she would go all these places, have these cool stories, and then go to like a small little town like Deadwood and be treated like probably like real models were at like real, like in Vegas. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of fun for them to feel like little celebrity. And they still talk to people from there now.
Okay.
Man, when you coming back? When you coming back? Even my niece, her daughter has been out there with her a handful of times, but I got to go 1 year. After like a decade, I got the invite, and me and my buddy went out and spent a week out there. It's pretty cool, man. And then especially when you're sort of getting comped a lot of stuff because of like you're Tori's brother, so that made it fun. Big time showboating in Deadwood, South Dakota. I was definitely strutting. If nothing else, I was strutting for sure. I didn't wear therapeutic socks then, though. Tighter the better.
Whatever floats your boat, Bob. Whatever floats your
So
boat.
tight socks
Your
float
pickle.
my boat, Steve. Tight socks. Ooh.
If
Tickles your pickle.
If you're out there in the Badlands of South Dakota, it's whatever pulls your wagon, not whatever floats your boat.
Just try not to get dysentery.
Yeah.
That's Oregon, actually.
But it's on the way to Oregon.
It's on the way. You're right.
Give it-
Minnesota's on the way. We'd pass through there.
Thankfully for you, just passed through.
I will say, God, when was this? Oh, that's irrelevant. I don't know if it still is this way, but I used to travel a lot for work years ago. But I had gone out for my boss at the time. She was getting married, so she actually like paid for me to fly out because that's the only way I was going to be able to go. And I flew Spirit Airlines, and if anybody knows anything about Spirit,
They're awesome.
you pay for everything. Super cheap, but you pay for everything. Literally. And they don't always fly they usually fly out of smaller airports, not like your big international airports. But so I flew out of Love Field, flew to Salt Lake City to then fly to Tucson. But Salt Lake City at the time still had a smoking section in the airport, inside the airport. Whether or not they still do or not, I don't know. But one of the things that was kind of intriguing, hoping that because, as a smoker, you freaking nicotine load before you get on a plane in hopes that, it'll tie you over. But since I had a layover both going to Arizona and then coming home, I'm thinking, oh, great, I'm going to have enough time to go into the smoking section and have a smoke before I get on my connecting flight. Yeah, that didn't happen. But I thought it was pretty interesting that Salt Lake City Airport had a smoking section in the airport.
I've only seen that in Vegas. Like little huts, glass huts. Of course, they stuff them with slot machines too, so it's like go in there and smoke and gamble.
Well, Vegas is the exception to freaking everything, but
Pretty much.
anywhere else you fly into or fly out of, like if you want to smoke, you have to exit the facility into the designated smoking section and then go back through security in order to get back to the terminals.
Which they don't let you do at some airports.
And it's not always easy to find a damn smoking section because those cops watch too. If you're not in one of the designated areas, you'll know about it. You'll know about it.
Apparently, there's like UPMC hospital like around this way, you can't even smoke on their property anymore.
Yeah,
Up to and
that's all
including
hospitals.
like, I'm just saying, like, you can almost, I don't know how true this is, but like get in trouble like for almost smoking in your car coming to work smelling like cigarettes. I mean, that like maybe that's just coming from somebody that's really ticked off, like saying, an extreme example, but I don't know, man. I mean, smoking,
Every
every a
hospital
lot of people
here,
smoke.
it's no smoking on property, technically.
Uh,
But
every the
you have
hospitals were in
doctors.
Pittsburgh are like, what'd you say?
But here's the thing: you have doctors, you have nurses, they smoke and everything else. So it's like it can't technically be fully smoke free. I mean, I guess they can, but like you're going to tell a doctor, hey, you can't smoke on the property, but yet then ask them to save like your wife's life in the event that they end up going to the hospital and that's the doctor that's going to be
Yeah,
performing some surgery.
right. Doc, please have two if you need to. If it's gonna steady your hand before you operate on my kid or something, please just wash them.
Ash in the wound.
Right. Well, you hear like was hearing something recently about births. Maybe like in old Britain, like the midwives' success versus like trained doctors, and this was like before antiseptics or before they really knew what the heck they were doing. Like the same doctors that were operating on or not or that were like dealing with cadavers in the morgue were then like going and trying to deliver babies, and they were wondering why they were having such a high death rate. It's like, I don't know, man. Germs are nasty stuff when you get in the hospital. The invention of soap was pretty important. Not that I ever
Sanitizer.
used it. I've heard things about it.
And of course, now hand sanitizer is still everywhere.
Oh yeah. Who had stock in Purell 3 years ago? They're sitting pretty good right now.
You think? They made their freaking 10-year quota.
We were getting. I remember those days at work. We were getting like Chinese. It just looked like stuff being made in somebody's basement, like the FEMA packs of like supplies or whatever we could get for our company. Man, it was like you couldn't find hand sanitizer anywhere.
Well, and then they're like people started coming out with videos for making like
Yeah.
Clorox wipes and then your own hand sanitizer with, rubbing alcohol and all the
Lighting their
other
kitchen
like
on
other
fire.
Yeah.
Just wash your damn hands.
That makes a difference. That does make a difference.
I've heard again. I don't use soap.
Just spit. Ugh.
As long as it's not loogies, I guess all is good. But then again, to each their own, I guess. So, Dave, curiosity. Are you thinking the video comes out this weekend?
I'm hoping it comes out Saturday. I mean, at least Saturday, or even if it's further out.
I was just curious what your thought process was.
And again, though, we're all, I think, in the same boat. We haven't seen much of the hyping yet. the pumping, as it were, for the
push.
Hall of Fame. But I mean, you can see people pushing for it, as Vinny alluded to, with the top 24 cards of 1924, or the 100 cards for 100 cents, or I mean, it's great to do that, but it's like, here's my top favorite snack cakes. Here's my top five favorite
Cereals.
but it's gonna all be in the Chex, Kix, plain Cheerios, Tostios. I mean, it's gonna be all in the plain grain, whole grain. It's not gonna be at Lucky Charms, Cocoa Pebbles. We're gonna go 5 chocolate flavored, 5 with marshmallows, 5 flakes. I mean, I'm sorry, if you've got that much time on your hand, you need another hobby. Because I can't fathom having that much time to make that many edited, produced videos. Ever. I mean, I don't care if I didn't have Naomi. I don't care if I just had me. I can't fucking imagine that much time. Because again, I've got other things I want to watch, other things I want to do, like sleep.
Priorities. That goes in line with what Vinny said earlier, though. Priorities.
Oh, I get it. Anytime I see videos from a lot of these people, I don't know how. And again, I love our hobby. I don't love it to that degree where I need to fucking give all my information that I think is information, when a lot of it is just objectivity towards a subject or a card or a player or what. I don't know. That's how people get burnt out, when they start seeing that, even if it's not watching it. When you see suggestions of, hey, I don't need to watch these people. I want somebody to drop hydrochloric acid in my eyes instead, so I don't have to see them. And then take a fucking drill with a 12-inch drill bit and fucking pop in both ears so I don't have to listen to them. So I don't have to see them reading off a fucking computer screen or listen to their mundane, droll voices drone on and on and on. Because you've got the personality of a fucking outdated and rotten turnip. I mean, it's just
outdated, rotten turnip.
So that takes a lot of doing.
I was hoping you went with turnip. I was thinking turnip myself. I didn't think the outdated, rotted part was going to accompany it, but the turnip was a good addition there.
Well, in the words of my deceased grandmother, God rest her soul, the personality of a limp dick.
Yeah, that's almost about shooting your wad Marine the church-going queen uses here.
Oh, see, there's a difference between Bob's mom and my grandmother.
That was probably tame for your grandma, huh?
Oh,
No,
that was normal.
My grandma would just beat you with a broom.
My grandmother wasn't scared to sit there and flip the bird to somebody who she thought cut her off. Like she was one of those. Oh, yeah.
I think your grandma and I would have got along, because I start yelling and cursing at the car crash videos and people cutting people off, and Naomi's like, "Jesus, that's just a video." I said, "I know it is, but I'm very upset because I've experienced all this." So you go back to that moment. It's like, what are you watching out there if you're not watching the road? You're gonna be mad. You're not gonna be like, "Ah, that's okay. You're stupid. You just cut across 4 lanes of a fucking freeway. without putting your blinker on. That's all right. No, I'm going to try to pit maneuver you and put you in the wall.
I saw one the other day, and I don't even know how I stumbled across it. I think it was actually like an Instagram reel. And the guy actually had a dash cam video, or dash camera
Yep.
that was recording, always recording, obviously. And this lady literally pulls in front of him, slams on the brakes, and then gets out of the car and starts like yelling and screaming at the dude like it's like he did something wrong. And of course, his little caption was along the lines of, thank God I had a dash camera, because there are people out there that are willing to commit insurance fraud, because that's exactly what that is.
Yep.
Because in most states, if you rear end somebody, it is typically your fault. Unless you have ways to prove otherwise. Witnesses, cameras, whatever. But let it be a lesson to anybody, Don't ride people's asses and be defensive in your driving, because like watching that video of that situation happening, like I'm picturing myself driving and just like thinking that's exactly what was going to happen, to where drive defensively, like slow down a little bit and prepare yourself for some dipshit and what they're ultimately going to do. Like, honestly, it wasn't bad enough to where the person driving recording couldn't have prevented it. Just saying.
Yeah, getting brake checked.
Not that you can prevent all of them, but the whole point, that be a defensive driver, anticipate the unexpected, because there are too many jackasses out there who do stupid shit. And I actually was the asshole the other day. On Friday, we were off. Well, my company was closed, part of it, for New Year's. So I ended up going to the bank and sitting at a stoplight, which goes under an underpass of a tollway. It's so the intersection, it's 5 lanes. 2 lanes turn left, 2 go straight, 1 goes right. Well, I'm the person who thinks like, if you drive these roads enough, you know what the lanes do. And I happen to be in the 3rd lane, which is the first lane to go straight. And I was the first in line. And this dumbass in the first turn lane over here keeps slowly scooting up, scooting up, scooting up, scooting up, knowing exactly what he was going to do. Me being the asshole, the minute the light turned green, I slammed on the gas. I'm like, you motherfucker, you were not cutting me off. If he would have put his blinker on, I'd have been more than happy.
Yep.
Because maybe they didn't know. But no blinker? No. Like, I knew exactly what the guy was doing. And I was that asshole. And I, of course, I'm sure I got flipped off. But the sad thing about it is he went from the turn lane all the way to the other straight lane to turn into a shopping center. Like, were you using your GPS? Because if you were, unless it was Waze, you should have known where it was. Because I could see, if you're using Waze, I could see it.
You don't know where you're at.
Take your next left.
You don't know where you're at until you're past it.
Yep.
Take your first right. Huh? What? Wait a minute. You just said take my first left. Now all of a sudden it's a right.
In 1,000 feet, exit. Hold on. Where was the, in 1 mile? Prepare to exit. I remember that one. That was after the dip.
Yeah,
Waves,
that was after
waves that were like prepare to exit in like car lengths, not miles.
In 3 car lengths, you'll have to turn left from the far right lane. What?
what?
Vinny's having like trauma related like tremors probably from this.
No, we're more concerned about you.
Oh God. Yeah.
I had no. You guys need to be concerned about me for whole other reasons, not for anything about the waves. That's for sure. But we figured it out. It worked. It's all smooth. Steve, you're a good driver.
That's not what you were saying.
I gotta close my eyes. I can't watch.
That
Like
was
Uncle Buck and that dip.
that was motion sickness. That's not what I was getting at. He was dealing with motion sickness. And he even said he was known to have that, regardless of my driving.
This is cool. Wouldn't matter. I only don't get it when I'm driving and I didn't want to drive, so I brought medicine to counteract. Hey, what did anything ever happen with the found item in the car? Did the rental company ever say anything about that?
I don't think so. Yes, we see the directions and everything else. We see all that.
Taking us in circle.
The itinerary.
No,
the
they
rental
never did say anything, Bob. The day we took it back, they were like, they gave me a credit of a little bit of money.
They said, "Shit, I was looking for that, man. I was looking for that."
The one dude was freaking out. He was kind of like, what the actual
F
was that? And now everybody will wonder what it was.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a few in the chat that probably do know.
Yes.
At least
that whole ways thing was difficult. We were even driving the other day. We went to Stony Creek High School. C was practicing with Alex, and we went to go to a PNC bank to get some money to pay him for the training session and to stop at somewhere to get a coffee. And Starbucks is ridiculous, by the way. It's just ridiculous. And Waze had us hitting into a tree practically. It was ridiculous.
No, because I think every time we went home or went to the resort, it was like a different way. I'm like, holy
every
fuck.
time.
Crap.
Whatever
I'm
was shortest. It's what they took us.
Like, oh, I don't remember this way the last time. Next time. Oh, this is a different way. And yeah, we went through, I don't even know where the fuck it was at one time where we went to like the Target and that must have been the second. No, what was that? No, that was the Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
So I get that. I get not being same way there, close to it, but it's like, God, nothing was even close to the same. Oh.
Well, when we stopped at Giordano's to get pizza to take back to Vinny's house, turn left. Your destination's on the right. Turn left. Huh?
I remember that.
And that's not an exaggeration. That was take a left or be in the second turn lane to turn left. Your destination's on the right. So, of course, I'm in the far right-hand lane. And then the minute we got on the road, turn left. Beg your pardon? Like it was on the left from the get-go.
Dude, the app can't even spell ways, so like we should have known.
It only did it in the Chicago area though. Like we had no issues when we went to BBCE. We had no issues getting to Chicago. We had no issues getting back to Warren. It was only in Chicago in which it was like off the rails.
Yeah, when we stopped by the baseball card exchange.
That's what
So
I was saying. It didn't. There was no
No
issues
problems
getting
there.
us there.
and the
Oh,
Wendy's. Never forget my experience at Wendy's.
Let's not rehash that conversation.
Sweet Lord.
Nothing like getting accused of stealing fast food, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Especially for the Wendy's.
Chicken nuggets.
Question.
Well, the fact, like, I will say this, and I know we talked about this briefly after the national after national recaps. The front counter worker, we stood there for at least 3 or 4 minutes before like anybody came to the register. And the chick who was doing the register finally decided to start walking up, and somebody was like, what were you like? Hey, where were you? And her response was, I was hiding. Like I knew. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a clusterfuck. Like this is not going to go well. And lo and behold, it did not go well.
you predicted the
Like-
future, Steve.
Well, you can usually tell,
Yes.
you can read people in situations like that. It's like, if not with us, somebody else right behind us, or a few, like something's not going to go well. It's all about context clues. And if I didn't get Vinny calmed down, I think he was literally going to jump over the counter and strangle the bitch.
I wouldn't go that far, but I was upset.
Oh, so you're downplaying it.
I was
You're
not happy.
downplaying it. You were down. You're downplaying it.
I was
Like
not happy.
I know you as a person. Like you would never literally do something like that because you would never lay your hands on a woman. But like, I saw it in your eyes. Like, I'm like, oh shit.
I wouldn't have minded her getting fired over that accusation because it was ridiculous. But you know what? People need jobs. Hopefully, she's learned from her mistake, and we go on with life. Say love you.
Obviously, she didn't need it that bad because she sucked at it, and she's the whole reason that the problem occurred in the first place. Like it didn't matter how it was being explained; it didn't click. It's like no comprehendo what I was saying. Like, and I deal with a lot of stupid people in my job, as a lot of us do. So sometimes you learn how to rephrase things in order to hopefully get somebody to understand. And I explained it like 5 different ways and it still didn't click. It was only until the manager showed up, in which he got it and pretty much told her to like go away. That was bad. Like I wish I could have recorded that and posted it on the interwebs.
World Star.
That's
Of
the
course.
first time my son-in-law heard the story. So he just came home from work, and He was like, "That's funny." I was like, because he knows. When I
Well, and see, I would have edited some things because, like, Vinny knows we had a long conversation about it. I had to get on to Vinny a little bit because he didn't help the situation.
probably not.
Which in those situations, I get it. You get a little irrational, especially when you're being accused of something that is nowhere near what happened.
In front of my kid. That's what got me. So you could say it to me, I don't care. And I'd have probably let it go. I'd have been like, hey, let's just let the manager handle this go. But you said it in front of my kid. And that's a no-no. You don't say that I'm a thief to my child. That's a little bit much. If I want something, I'll take it from you. I'm just kidding. Anyhow.
Yeah, but like I said, the fact of the matter is she blatantly told the manager that he was stealing.
Yeah, that was
and much. I'm like, time out. Problem number one, just because we came in together doesn't mean we're together. You know what I mean? Just because you see us walk in at the same time doesn't mean that we're friends, like we know each other, like we came to Wendy's together. That was problem number one. We did, but I ordered my food, he ordered his and C's food. Why would you put my food in with his? Like, why would you do that?
I don't know. I never heard the story, so I don't know any of the details. I don't need to hear it now. I'm just saying.
That's why the issue happened, because my food got put in with his and we were still missing something. And trying to explain that, hey, this is my order. This was his. He's still missing this. That's when it got to the point of where she accused Vinny of.
You're trying to get some free nuggets.
Yeah, a whopping 99 fucking cents. It's off the dollar menu, for Christ's sakes. And of course, they didn't make his sandwich plain, which pissed him off too. So that didn't help.
Yeah, it was a disaster, guys. It was just a disaster. And like I said, I was heated because I was accused in front of my kid. And I took a while for me to let it go, probably about 2 hours. And then I was good. I hope she had some up training and she's living the good life in wherever we stop in Indiana.
She needed to find
Be honest.
Yeah. She needed to find a new job because, like,
she was not meant
to be in fast food customer service.
I'm trying to be positive in 2024. Hopefully she got up trained and try to be
maybe a warehouse job or something away from the public.
Yeah, they're just.
Dave, are you hiring in any of your warehouses?
I gotta have an IQ bigger than my waistline, so this particular individual does not sound like they do. So
no,
I'll have to politely put her application back into the application sphere.
The garbage can?
Yeah.
If I stole something, it'd be one thing, but I didn't. And the accusation was there, and it was very frustrating.
Nope.
It was bad. It was bad.
That my reaction would have been like Steve's the other day with the gas pedal and gunning the fucking vehicle. It would have been from standstill to fucking 60 or whatever in a very, very short amount of time.
Cursing in front of my child didn't help much either.
Yeah, it was an all around shit show. And
yeah,
Vinny knows I love him. He didn't help the situation.
No.
And he knows it. But I get the reason. Like at the end of the day, I was backing my friend because I ended up kind of taking over because, like I said,
I walked away.
If it would have continued the way that it did, he would have jumped the counter and strangled the bitch.
Nah,
Like,
I wouldn't have went that far. I wouldn't get arrested over something that stupid. That was in
my
theory,
point being, you
Yeah.
were that angry to where, like,
I was not happy.
I wouldn't have let it happen. You
No,
know
I
that.
wouldn't have done it. So we're good. I just wanted my nuggets and leave. That's all I wanted. Honest to God, I just wanted to go.
And a chicken sandwich that was made the way he ordered it.
Yeah.
I felt for that poor manager because he's looking at this chick like all he's saying is he's missing the nuggets and you made this and you put the sandwich in wrong. He's asking for it to be remade in something that he purchased. Like, and literally, he's like, what's your fucking malfunction?
Well, they asked me, why are you upset over this? I said, I have no idea why I'm so upset over this. I've just been accused of stealing from this facility. Well, really? I'm going to steal from Wendy's.
And
That's
like I
probably
said,
a regular thing for them.
It sounded like it. It sounded like people went in there to get free stuff. And the
Well,
order
it's-
in front of us was screwed up. The two orders that went before us were both screwed up. So, and after us was screwed up too. So,
and it's no different when we went to Portobello's. And yes, for those that want to, it's Portillo's. We know what it's called, but that's all for Ed. We're standing in line, and this dude is trying to talk to the cashier while he's taking other orders, asking where his food is, claiming that he ordered and that like he was trying to steal food. Like that was blatant.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting here wasting time looking through multiple registers, and what he told them was something that would probably pull up frequently, knowing that that would be something that would pull up frequently. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, my bad. Let me, and he'd get a free meal out of it. And that dude was adamant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there like, but you could tell, like, just in his facial expressions, it's like, dude, you were shady as fuck.
Yep.
And hungry.
And they finally told him, I'm sorry, we're not seeing it. And I've been the only guy running the register. I don't remember you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's take your scheme elsewhere.
Well, if you're that overly concerned that somebody's going to miss your order, make sure you keep your fucking receipt.
Yeah, what'd you do with it in the fucking 10 feet down to the end of the aisle?
and handing them a BBCE receipt instead of my Wendy's receipt probably didn't help matters. But this ain't even real. And I said, son of a gun. I said, give me that back. I got the right one here. Sorry.
No, it was one of the gas stations.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
the receipt that you gave them, and they ended up throwing it away.
Yeah, that's right.
See, I remember things.
I try to put it out of my mind.
Oh, but you still remember it.
I do.
It still bothers you. It still bothers me, to be honest. Just because, like, I've dealt with accusations. I was accused, like 21. I was accused of stealing cigarettes from a freaking gas station that I just bought. Like literally, I need 2 packs of whatever I was smoking at the time. Pulled them down. I paid for them. I had the receipt. And then the guy had the audacity to accuse me of stealing cigarettes. I'm like, the ones that I just bought? No, I'm like, dude, would you like to come over to the other side of the counter and fucking search me? Here's the 2 that I just bought. Here's my receipt. You just completed the transaction. I'm calling the cops. Please do.
And he said, yes, I'd like to come over there and frisk you.
No, he didn't. But I'm like, seriously? I was in Jinkos and a Pantera concert shirt. I know why he was freaking questioning it.
Can you redo that wardrobe for next week's show?
No, I don't own either one of those anymore. Thanks for asking, though, Dave.
Get your Benson and Hedges, and then fucking your Junkos and Pantera.
No, I never smoked Benson and Hedges, but nice try, Dave.
If I could only fit in my button fly jeans.
I've been mostly a Marlboro guy, but I did smoke Winston Select Lights. I still remember this. Holy fuck.
No bull, man. No bull.
And then Camel Red Lights. That's when Camel actually came out with variations of their cigarettes. But other than that, I've been a Marlboro guy. Not that it matters and not that anybody gives a shit, but I just figured I'd clarify since you were claiming the Benson Hedges. My mom did smoke Benson and Hedges menthol ultralights, though. It is kind of funny you mentioned that. Yes, I've smoked cloves, and honestly, Ty, I think they taste like shit. That's what they taste like. A clove. That's like they're gross. My opinion. Happy New Year, there, Stoop. So we are over the 2-hour mark. What do we got? Marlboro playing cards.
I'll set those aside for the end of the year. Spoiler alert.
No, they need to.
Still
They need to come to national.
Still sealed.
They need to go to national in 2025 so we can actually play some cards or something with them.
We can do that.
I
really gotta pee.
You'll remember them.
Remember them what? Oh, he's not gonna remember them.
I trust you'll remember them. Trust.
Anybody want to take the over/under?
Just like I remember how those light flame refractors are parallels in OPG Premier, Platinum Premier.
The 1998 EX 2001 refractors.
That's right.
Pulsar laser.
Unbelievable shine. Indescribable shine.
Super rare.
You would think.
No, I barely do.
I disagree with that, Bob. You're selling yourself a little too short there.
It's kind of my thing, Steve.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I understand the shtick, but like we did room with you for a few days, so you would think with the number of people that they have working at eBay, they could figure out a way to use trading card database or Beckett as a standard for forcing correct descriptions for sports cards. Just throwing that out there.
Some drop down menus. I mean, people are still going to do it wrong.
If they allow a freeform, but if you were selling in these categories, you have to use these specific drop downs. Other than that, it's just a freeform listing. So at least this way,
You got a shot at being right, because like let's be honest, the Panini Parallel drop down menu is going to be 50 deep, so
This
you get a
is
lot.
true.
Have they probably up
This is true.
here?
Okay,
I don't know. Did we get a parallel check, Vinny, on that new Prism? A lot. Okay.
So-
there you go, Dave. Dave's already prepared.
So maybe
Right.
they don't do it with some of the newer shit, but at least we can go on eBay, and if we stumble across 98 EX 2001 base card, there's not going to be refractor acetate prism laser shit in the description.
In capitals.
Like, it's a fucking base card, man. I get it. They're pretty. They have some foliage, some like starburst little prism action in the acetate. I get it. They're pretty cards. But prism laser shit was not in 98 EX 2001. Collector's
Ever.
Edge had some prisms. Pacific had prism sets. PRISM prism, not PRIZM. Just FYI. Make sure I get the nomenclature correct. Anyways. Anything else?
I'm gonna have to go soon. The old man wants to finish the Multiverse of Madness tonight, so I said I'll be up in like 15.
Well, saved perfect timing. I was getting ready to ask Dave. Any other closing remarks, closing topics?
You guys do anything for New Year's?
Not a fucking thing. I didn't even make it to New Year's.
Kids came over, we hung out, we banged pots and pans at midnight on the porch, and went back to bed.
I made it to East Coast New Year's.
Is that 2 hours?
1 hour.
1 hour. All right, that's close enough.
You're only an hour ahead of me, Bob. So yeah, 11:30.
Is Texas all in one time zone, or does it get some mountain time?
There's one little small subsection out there in
Losers.
near the El Paso kind of. Of course, that could have changed. Who knows? But there was only one little small. I think it only was 1 or 2 counties or some shit. But then again, that could have changed.
I saw a comedian recently talk about you can drive in Texas for 11 hours in one direction and still be in Texas.
Like we can't see that. Why don't you read it to us there, Vinny? Go off of mute.
Oh, he's just showing you the little panhandle there.
See,
That's
3.
mountain time.
I was close. I said 2 counties. It's 3.
Yep. So that little sliver.
And now you know. That's what you people hang around for till the end of the show, for little nuggets like that.
So Bob, and for clarification, like from here, right? For yours, because you had mentioned 11 hours and still be in Texas.
Yes.
It's actually closer to like 16 hours, depending on where you start. It's 10 hours to South Padre Island, which is near Brownsville. Going west from here, it's like almost 15 hours to El Paso, which is the furthest city in West Texas. But if you start in East Texas and go to El Paso, like I said, it's like 16 or 17 hours. And you'd still be in Texas. Crazy.
Deep in the heart of Texas. I still remember that from Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse or Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
I watched that last week.
How he proved he was in Texas, dude. One of my favorites. Anyway,
Yeah, I love that movie, man.
me too. Tim Burton classic.
Yep. Anyways, nobody else did anything, so there's your answer, Dave.
I think we watched the Nashville stuff on CBS or Paramount, whatever it was, and pretty much immediately went to sleep right after midnight. That was it.
The joys of getting old.
It was tough to stay up that late. But next Wednesday, again, podcast that day. Fairly certain Tuesday's basketball again. Watched a little of that, and after it was like 23-3, I was like, yeah, that's enough. I'm good without. So yeah, next Wednesday, 7:35 ish. So I'm gonna send these guys again something that came up in the suggested the video that I started watching yesterday. I'm like, ooh, this is good. So I'll implore them to watch at their own leisure, and then maybe we'll talk about it at some point and share it with the class. But I don't know how this hasn't been talked about or brought up, so I found it very intriguing. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for commenting.
You can spoil it briefly in the after hours, so
yes,
we know what you're talking about.
Okay. Commenting, all that shit. It always helps us, even if you're just laughing along at one or two or three or four of us going on some sort of rant or quasi rant over Wendy's food or.
Never gonna live it down now.
People that buy pizzas but don't like their dogs enough because their cards mean more. Not us. Family, including the pets, which are family first. So for Robert, for Vincenzo, for Steve, I'm Dave. This has been the Instant Revolution podcast. Remember, collecting cards, it's a wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way, that's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.